Baseball University of the Blue Ridge welcomes you to the Western North Carolina Scout and Streaming Series presented by Bubba's Good Eats and Cougars Trading Incorporated. We're live from Bryson City, North Carolina on the campus of Swain County High School for the second round of the NCHSAA 1A West Baseball Playoffs, where the 26th-seeded Mountain Heritage Cougars will take on the 23rd-seeded Swain County Maroon Devils.
Another beautiful, tiny mountain town. First time to Bryson City. Just rode through their town square, and just what another great place to take the family. Swain County takes a lot of pride in their athletics. You can see that driving in. Got that Maroon machine, the Maroon Devils plastered all around town, all around Bryson City.
Well, you didn't even see the prized possession, the football field on top of the hill.
Yep, I was going to say they take their sports very seriously. There's a track meet that is being hosted at Polk today, where many of the Swain faithful have ventured as well. So kind of a quiet setting here for a round two game, but we're excited. Again, one of our playoff sponsors, I'll have Hunter read them in a minute, but I know, again, Bubba's Good Eats, we appreciate them. I think they've got us thrown on the television yet again, and it's a good day to broadcast, because if Mountain Heritage can pull this off, they will tie for the furthest they've ever gone in the state playoffs, which is the third round, and they achieved that last year. So, but yeah, let's go ahead and thank our playoff sponsors. Again, Bubba's Good Eats, owned by Mendy and Shane Miller. They're the new owners at Bubba's Good Eats, located at 394 East Main Street in Burnsville. Business phone is 828-678-3388. Open Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Saturday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. You can check them out on Facebook, get an idea of what the menu looks like at bubbasgoodeats.k. I guess that's quick menu, KWICK. So bubbasgoodeats.quickmenu.com. Dine in, take out, order online, or call them anytime about catering needs. And then thank you again to Cougars Trading Incorporated. They're a retail firearms, archery, and fishing shop located in Burnsville. They're proud carriers of Glock stocking or Glocks, and as well as Blue Label dealer for them. And they also carry Matthews, PSE, Elite, Bowtech, Bear, and Hoyt bow accessories. So you can reach them at 828-678-9929, located at 1995 West US Highway 19 East in Burnsville, North Carolina. Again, we couldn't do this without their help today. And I think Mountain Heritage community was excited to get us involved, because this is a hard travel. What you were saying, maybe 3 hours on the bus, 2 hours in the car?
Well, definitely 3 hours on a bus that can only go 55 miles per hour. And having done that a couple times from Hendersonville to Franklin, I couldn't imagine what it would take to get from Burnsville up here to Bryson City.
Well, how did these teams get here? Mountain Heritage currently 10-11, but 9-3 in conference. Their first out-of-conference win was actually the round one playoff win against Leadership Academy. They won 9-2 on Tuesday. Finished the season pretty strong. They beat Drone there and then forced a championship game, which they lost on Friday 9-2. But again, this is a talented team. You got Caden Carroll, the Southwest Virginia commit, Lane Chandler, Branson Fox, pretty strong senior group. and a lot of talented underclassmen. So this is a group that could very well reach that third round again and maybe even further. On the other side, for Swain, again, the Smoky Mountain 1A conference been down this year. Good season by their standards, though. 12-8, 10-2 in conference. They were second in the Smoky Mountain behind Hayesville. Started off 1-3 before they got into conference play, but they had 5 sweeps in conference and took care of business. Finished the season with a win against Robbinsville, and then they went and played Tuscola and got beat pretty handedly. And here we are on Tuesday. They beat Piedmont Community Charter 13-2. That was the number 10 seed, so a nice upset. And they earn a home playoff game, which was probably unexpected. And it's their home turf. They didn't have to drive 3 hours, so they might be able to pull the win out here and get back into the playoffs. Where last year were they eliminated in the second round last year too? Yes, I think they lost
a drone last year.
Lost a drone in that second round after a first round win to North Stokes. Mountain Heritage again last year, they got on a roll, beating Piedmont Community Charter, Hayesville before losing to Uwharrie Charter, who I think might have ended up winning it all last year. So the playoff bracket, you want to throw that up there for the folks? We'll take a look at that 1A and tell the people about some of our picks for round 2. A lot of rain and hail and wind came in last night. A couple teams decided to try to move their games up. Tuscola played Stuart Kramer last night in the 3A. They won 9-1. A little bit of drama as it was only a 4-inning game when the rain came in. They were up 3-1 going in the bottom of the 4th. They put on 6 runs. I think when the rain started, it ended up being 9-1. So technically Tuscola moves on to the 3rd round, and then Charlotte Catholic and TC Robertson tried to get their game in, but it was rained out. That's moved to Saturday, but I think most of North Carolina is playing today. So 1A bracket.
1A bracket is up. We both last game go 7-2 in the first round. Both losing this game, Piedmont Community Charter and Swain.
Talking about our predictions.
And then I lost the Mitchell at Hazel game that we covered. So both 7-2 in the 1A coming in, and we'll start off with Cherryville and Langtree Charter. Cherryville cruising through the 1 seed.
Cherryville with that big win against Burns last week, kind of showing, hey, we're real. So I'm going to pick Cherryville as well.
I'll go with the Ironmen. Going down the bracket, you got 8-seeded Hayesville hosting the second round matchup against number 24 seed Mountain Island Charter, who pull off the upset over Thomasville.
I'm going to go with Hayesville. They're senior heavy. They've been there before. So, again, I'm going to go with Hayesville at home.
Yeah, Joe Jack's got them playing good ball. I'll take Joe Jack and the Hayesville Yellow Jackets. Moving our way down in the bottom left, there's no mountain teams playing out there. Going back up to the top right, we'll feature our game today, Swain and Mountain Heritage.
Well, I think Mountain Heritage lives and dies by that senior class. A lot of talent, a lot of emotion. I think if they can come out here and put a crooked number up early, they can run the table. I'm going to go with Mountain Heritage today.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go with the Cougars, too. I think their pitching depth's a little bit deeper than Swain. Haven't seen Swain play that much, but seen how some of their scores and pitching numbers have worked out this year. They've just been right there on the cusp. I need one more pitcher to face, and I think they probably threw him last game, so I'll go with the Cougars. Going back down, bottom right, got Christ the King hosting Polk County.
Would love to see Billy Alm win that one. He's had those Wolverines playing some really good baseball, but that Christ the King school plays in a tough conference, tough area. I'm going to go with them.
I'm going to go with Christ the King as well. And finishing off, 6-seeded Drone hosting 22nd seed Highland Tech, who pulled off the upset, picked by yours truly over Bethany Community. I want to pick Highland Tech so bad, but I'm going to go with the home team, Drone.
Highland Tech. They're in that Southern Piedmont Conference. They get overlooked a little bit. They have some talent. I'm going to go with Drone, though, as well. They're at home. That's a good home crowd, senior-heavy team.
Changed your pick, I see.
Yep, I am going to change my pick. I was originally going to go Highland Tech. But, again, you got Griff Stevens on the mound. He just maybe threw a no-hitter in that game we covered against Mountain Heritage. A little controversy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, Evan Gerke with the Citizen
Nice to meet you, man.
How are you guys doing?
So Evan Gerke in the house. So we're live, but that's cool, man. I'm glad you're here. This was an interesting one.
Yeah.
There's a lot of games that we could have potentially covered, but this is going to be gritty.
It's
So,
not the expected second-round matchup with
I
two
don't-
20 seed teams.
I was going to say
teams that have really good end of the regular season.
them and West Henderson probably did not expect having a home game. So, but yeah, man, you do great work. We always follow you on the Twitter to try to keep up with the games. Did you do the Tuscola game last night?
That was Zachary.
Man, what 4 innings?
Yeah, I think so. I think
Any drama?
Rain.
I just didn't know. I didn't know if it was just like, man, why do we play this game?
But yeah, I think it was 9-1 when it ended, and I think with the rain like that, it's just teams got to get home.
I understand. Well, we'll see what happens. There's going to be no national anthem today.
Oh.
No player announcements. I think everybody who's somebody went to the track meet at Polk. So even though we have a round 2 game, the environment may not feel very playoff heavy at first, but I promise you, I know back in Burnsville, they're excited about this one. So, but yeah, man, I'm glad you stopped by.
Yeah, nice to meet you guys.
Hey, good to meet you, man.
All right, let's see here. We got any more matchups, or is that last one with
That was
Polk
the last of the
Drone?
1A, so do we want to hold off on 2A? Or
I was going to say we can chat about the 2A through the 4A throughout the broadcast.
Yeah, I think we'll leave those up and throw those up later on, but yeah.
Let's do the coach's background real quick. Again, Todd Reagan, he's been around. He transferred a little bit when he was playing in college. Golly, where did he go? So graduated Southern Guilford, ended up going to Mars Hill. He finished up at High Point. I want to say he stopped off somewhere in between, but he's been around and knows this game very, very well. In the dugout with him, Coach Michael Hamby. He was a Mountain Heritage grad, played his baseball at Limestone, which sadly we found out is, I guess, dropping their sports. I don't know. Have you heard, is the school going under entirely, or is it just athletics they cut? I'm going to have to go look that up. But anyway, these Heritage Cougars, they got a lot of college baseball experience in that dugout with them. For Swain County, Houston McCracken, first year as the head coach here at Swain. He was an assistant with Coach Shepard down at Tuscola the last 3 seasons, and that's a great place to get your feet wet with Evan Connor, Amos Rich, Tyler Williams, Colt Nelson. There's been a lot of good prospects that came through under Coach McCracken's tenure there. And, being a Tuscola grad, I know he was excited to see those Mountaineers winning the 3A. They played each other twice last week to celebrate each other's senior weeks or senior days. Tuscola won both those games. Now, again, small school baseball, there can be some big-time talent on the Mountain Heritage side. Again, one college commit, Caden Carroll, and he's a good one. Very flexible. Got a little bit of that Tim Linsa coming on him in him on the mound. Fastball, curveball guy, sits low 8s. He could give these Maroon Devils a hard time today if his fastball's got the ride on it. Several good ball players in that Heritage lineup, though. Lane Chandler, 25, who's still uncommitted. Would really like to see him go play some junior college baseball. You got Kason Jones, the center fielder, who gets a lot of attention for football, but honestly, his ceiling may be higher for baseball, being a lefty-lefty, and he's hit about 5 or 6 home runs this year. One of my favorites is Carter Bennett, left-handed pitcher. You won't see him today. He pitched in that game Tuesday. He'll be in right field, but he's a crafty lefty. He'll be there. And one of our sophomores that we like, Braden Deaton. Deaton was our Camwood Bats player of the game back in March when they played Madison. Left-handed swinger playing second base. For Swain, very young team, so no college commits, but there's a few in that 27 class that Coach McCracken told me we got to take a look at. First base, third baseman, Aiden Smiley. Will Holden, I believe, is the starting pitcher tonight. And last before did very well at Christ School, but he had led these Maroon Devils to a state run back in 22, I believe. He's at Western Carolina right now, so he's definitely a proud Bryson City boy, loves his Swain team, but again, transferred to Christ School that junior year. So it's the closest thing we got to a current Swain County alum. I will pull up the baseball cube later. There were some players back in the 2000s, 2010s that had some college experience that we'll discuss. Coaches are meeting with the umpires here, so let's go ahead and get into our keys to the game. You want to throw that up? Cool. All right, so let's see here. Key number one, it's going to take efficient pitching and loud bats. That would be the goal here for the Cougars. They can hit the ball, and with Caden Carroll on the bump, he may have the velo to give these Devils some trouble. So if he can stay in the zone, move quick, and those bats can put up a few crooked numbers early on, it could get those Cougars locked in to take this game early. On the other side, key number two, got to apply ample pressure. This is where those Swain Devils, they got to do the little things right, put some pressure on the young catcher. They got a freshman behind the plate there for Mountain Heritage today. Take good leads, look to take extra bases, get the bunts down, limit mistakes, because this Heritage team is very strong. However, their emotions can get the best of them. So if you put the pressure on, the heat, you turn the heat up, they might not want to stay in that kitchen too long. And then key number three, the senior experience is going to have value. This Cougar group, again, they went to the third round last year. They have some seasoning. These seniors in this game were there. They've been part of the journey together, and the Cougars are going to follow those seniors for better or worse today. So they're going to set the tone. And on the other side, with that being said, with Swain being very green, very young, that might be what helps them today, not really seeing the size of the moment, not being overcome by such a big moment, just being young and enjoy playing baseball. But yeah, that's our keys to the game, just the general keys. So say we drop all those original sponsors. So what do we got?
2 and 3 are having latency issues.
Okay.
That's
Which
the ones on the polls.
Okay.
And I can't figure out if it's because they overheated or what.
Interesting. All right. Well, I'm going to say I can go take a look at them.
I'm thinking maybe we'll have to do that real quick. Or
Okay. All right. Well, let me go take a quick peek. I'll let Hunter maybe throw up the 2A stuff. So keep them entertained.
Keep them entertained. Try to keep this going here while we wait. Y'all can see how we are troubleshooting. Just go with one, maybe.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just go with one.
Good.
See, that's what I was thinking.
Are you plugged in?
I mean, it's fine right now. I don't know what it is. We'll just go with one. Four is. Well, we get started with a ball high here, trying to finagle tech issues. If you've been with us all year, you know that's not uncommon.
Yep, Caden Carroll leading off here. So Caden, he's going to be doing the pitching. Caden, versatile ball player, can play just about anywhere. Might actually end up in the outfield in college, but played shortstop for the Cougars here the last few years. Swinging a drive. That ball is going to be fair. Oh, he calls it foul. Okay. So he probably had a better look than we did, to be honest, so not arguing there. Say sitting behind the backstop today, we kind of come down the hill a little bit. So I'll be honest, I can't see up over that hump where the grass was. So we'll say good call by the umpire. So 2-1 count here. Holden delivers. Nice curveball. Misses just in, he says. So 3-1 count. So Say the Devils playing him to pole here. Shaded to the left. Up and in. It's going to be ball 4. So Caden Carroll starts this game with a walk. It's going to bring up the lefty, Braden Deaton. Again, with the lefty in the box, you may try to steal here. Robinson, the sophomore catcher. Say Deaton getting his signs. Say Carroll with a modest lead. Quick move. I was going to say it's a good delivery by Holden. A little slide step there.
Yeah, I think they overheated. That's the only thing I can think of.
Well, that one was on. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
wasn't like it was turned off or had any signals on it saying it was overheating. Ooh, nice pick here. Say Carroll able to get back in by an arm's length. Any recommendations? You want me to go try to move that one closer in between innings?
We'll just have to reconnect them all.
He's going to throw down on Carroll here, and he is in ahead of the tag, stolen base. Do you think it's like I go up, turn the app off, all right, so in between innings, Coach Cook here is going to disappear and go knock out, 3 cameras or just 1?
3 cameras.
Holy moly.
If you need to take 2 innings, that's okay. But this one's going good, so knock on something.
Ball outside. So you got to get connected a little bit more to get on top of that curveball. So 1-2 count here. If you're Deaton in this count, you're just trying to pull something here. Try to get that runner over with less than 2 outs. Oh, nice hit here to right field. It's going to stay up. No tag, though, from Carroll. So it's going to be a line out to right field. No advancement. So that's a tough read off the bat. It looks like it might get down. If Carroll's able to get back in time, he's probably able to tag. It's going to bring the big, strong Kaysen Jones up. Say low to mid-70s. Little bit of heat. I have to go reconnect some cameras here in between innings. So thanks for everybody that's tuning in out there. I think hopefully we got a good crowd at Bubba's. I don't want to speak about Bubba's too much right now because I'm hungry and I'm not sure if we got any concessions. So, see, the umpires are gonna go try to figure something out here. It's a good time for me to go mess with that camera real quick. So I'll be right back.
Yeah, definitely come up here and give y'all some insight here. Might be a good time to mention our Patreon. Want to help support Baseball University of the Blue Ridge? Visit our Patreon at www.patreon.com/bbuniversitywNC. The more financial support Baseball University of the Blue Ridge can earn, the more coverage of Western North Carolina baseball we can bring you, including the College Tour Series, the High School Scout and Streaming Series, American Legion Post 70 content, weekly media content, highlight films, and more. Choose which tier is right for you at www.patreon.com/bbuniversitywNC. So we got a strike here. Another
Figure out what that delay was over?
I did not. I was trying to figure it out. It looked like they were either looking at something on.
Wait a minute. When I was over there fixing that camera, it looked like they might have been talking about the catcher's mitt. Possibly could have busted. So anyway, Kaysen Jones here, 0-2. So good job by Holden getting ahead after walking Carroll to lead off the game. Just misses outside. Say Mountain Heritage in the all-black uniforms today. Probably going to feel that heat a little bit.
It'll overheat like your daggum cameras are. They can hydrate.
Ooh, nice pitch by Holden. Zips one outside for strike 3. So we're in a good position today to give a couple velo readings, but I'm just a little nervous with cameras.
Well, yeah, that one looks good now. So I think it was like that one place. I forgot what game it was.
Where they all just turned off right before the game.
We had a similar issue where it was like, what are we doing? But
all right,
it's the heat.
So basically, go in between innings and get the other two. Gotcha. All right, Holden trying to get himself out of a jam here. He's been able to hold the Cougars here to just the one base runner after the leadoff walk and stolen base from Carroll. Say these uniforms, I know you're a fan of the pinstripes. We got the maroon devil pinstripes here in the white uniforms.
Traditional, I love it.
Levi McCurry now, the first baseman, swings through one up near his chest.
I know
0-2.
the coaches love Mount Heritage All Blacks. Keeps the dirt out easier. You can use it longer. My mom would be like, I hate white pants.
I've seen many years doing all the laundry. I get it. Got to use that magic soap.
Iron out was our trick.
0-2 delivery here from Holden. Steps off, looks back Carroll.
We used iron out, which is like getting some rust out of, porcelain and different things. And that's what we used in our pants.
Nice job on McCurry there, trying to fight off that curveball. Almost able to shoot it down that right field line. Foul ball. So impressed with Holden here. After the leadoff walk, he's been filling it up. And he's one strike away from getting out of this inning with no runs. So he throws one hard there, but yanks it into the other batter's box. So fastball outside high. I was thinking that last one, I wanted to go back up near the letter, see if he can get McCurry to chase again. McCurry fists one right back to Holden, underhands it over to Schuler, and that is the third out. Nice job by Will Holden to get out of that one. So I'll let Hunter thank our sponsors and go through the Patreon while I go fix some more cameras.
Yeah, I already mentioned the Patreon, so I'm going to go talk about the social media real quick. I want to stay connected to Baseball University of the Blue Ridge across all platforms. Like and subscribe on YouTube at www.youtube.com/@bbuniversitywNC. Like us on Facebook at Baseball University of the Blue Ridge, and follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, and Instagram at bbuniversitywNC. And check out the website at www.baseballu.org. Appreciate you guys for staying connected. I know Coach Cook put up some Region 8 mock state games rosters on the Patreon. And he got it as a one-time purchase fee, so you can go ahead and go get that up there on the Patreon. What a great day to be out here in Swain County. Beautiful baseball field. High school all put together right above Bryson City. Not a big crowd today, at least behind the plate, but there's some guys up there in left field up on top of the hill. Looks like we got 2 good, so let's go ahead and get 4. Here's your camera 2 angle. This is camera 3, getting you a different alternate view of the batter. And you can see Coach Cook on top of the dugout over there, going to go hit our camera 4. This one we're excited about, and hopefully we can get it going. I don't know why all these cameras just out of nowhere. We appreciate you guys staying tuned as we work through these technical difficulties. And it looks like we're good on 4. And there's our camera 4 today. Good view of the infield. That one's going to have a little bit of latency issues, I think, throughout just because of how far it is, but it'll be something we're going to just deal with. Got another delay here. I don't know what we're working through. Well, another delay here. I gave you a little extra time.
Perfect delay.
A little extra time here.
You should see Coach Cook when we have these technical difficulties. I do my best Spider-Man impression, scaling all the dugouts and the poles, and just, you know, had to bounce on that fence post over there to get up on that one camera. Holy moly. Whew. Anyway, hasn't made a pitch in this inning yet, has he?
No, he hasn't.
It's going to be Corey Stillwell, Jones Robinson, and Aiden Smiley to lead it off here for the Maroon Devils. I don't know too much about this area, but I was trying to look into the history of Swain a little bit. Established in 1950, so 75 years old this year. The maroon and whites, and that unique mascot, that Maroon Devil. Same Mountain Heritage on the other side, been around since 1976. I think that was the same date as Mitchell, if I stand corrected. So Caden Carroll back out on that bump now, ready to go. We had a couple delays here in that first inning. So 2-0, missing up and away a little bit.
Not bad. Clicking the wrong button on the iPad.
Uh-oh. So quick 3-0 count here. Caden Carroll might go the way of Will Holden and walk that first batter here. Stillwell, the shortstop.
Try to keep this thing in the shade.
Doing all right?
Yeah, just
swing and a miss. He had the green light on 3-0.
Battling Mother Nature.
Caden Carroll is going to be a good one at that JUCO level, going to Region 10, Southwest Virginia. Going to play for Steve McMillan. There's another swing and a miss. Stillwell helped him out on that 3-1 fastball. So full count now. And I think if you're Carroll, you go ahead and just give him a good fastball somewhere down that chute. Ooh, misses up. So that's ball 4 on that 3-2 pitch. So Stillwell's going to reach first. Jones Robinson, the catcher, up now. So third baseman McMahon, he's playing up at third. Pickoff attempt here by Carroll. McCurry holding the runner. Up the middle, it's Chandler at short, Deaton at second, and double play combo. Branson Fox, Kason Jones, and Carter Bennett in the outfield. Runner goes. Fox going to throw down. That throw is high. It's going to head out in center field, but no advancement by Stillwell. So very similar beginning to to the bottom half of the first, as the Cougars are walking a stolen base. So 2 strikes here quickly to Robinson. Again, even though these are small schools, sometimes you get some big names that come through. We were talking earlier in the pregame. This is high here. Earlier in the pregame, no current alumni playing, but for Swain in the past, you had Josh Allman come through 2009, 2012 was a Tennessee commit. Played a few years in the for the Volunteers. There was Stephen Cook, who was drafted by Montreal in 2004. He played at UNC Asheville. There's Justin Crawley, who was drafted by the White Sox. There's strike 3 to Robinson. He was a Western Carolina grad. And then James Jordan and Corey Sutton both played at NC Central and Western Carolina, respectively. So there's definitely some good talent that's come through Swain in the past. So Carroll goes to the curveball, spins it, but stays up. So a walk and a K here to start the bottom half of the first. This is Aiden Smiley. Big body. Wouldn't be surprised if he's a football player. How we doing, Hunter? Say, I know when you get quiet, I get nervous about the tech stuff.
4 is kind of far away, but I'm not too concerned about that one.
Swing, foul back, and that ball is foul. Stillwell was off on the pitch there. So with 1 out, 2-1 count here. See if Stillwell goes on this one again. So Deaton giving him a look at second. A couple looks from Carroll. Runner stays put. Pop up right in the middle of the field. Deaton, Chandler. Deaton calls. 2 outs as the ball gets into the leather. That's going to bring Grady Lewis up, the second baseman. So leadoff walk, strikeout, and a pop out. Caden Carroll is 1 out away from finishing this inning. Still surprised they tried to get that game in at Tuscola last night, but it was 4 innings, just enough for them to beat Stuart Kramer 9-1.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll get into the 2A playoff bracket here in a little bit in between innings. Share some of our picks with you. See, Hunter's been keeping track of our picks, trying to do a little wager here. So what are you up in? You're up like 2 picks on me, or
I'm up 4 games on you.
24-12 versus 28-8. Okay.
For the first 36 matchups, which there's a couple mountain on mountain matchups in the first round. So good to see that of our coverage, more than half our coverage area made the playoffs.
If Reynolds can take out West Rowan at home tonight, that'll be a Tuscola-Reynolds matchup in the 3rd round. Hard ground ball picked up by Chandler, throws it across and out by Steps. So 6-3, 4 come to the plate, 1 walk and a stolen base. Stillwell's left at second. No score as we head into the top of the second. It'll be Branson Fox, Lane Chandler, and Liam McMahon.
Well,
McMahon, who knows?
Who knows? You'd have to ask.
If we're going by Chad McMahon standards, it's McMahon. Yeah. So I don't know if all McMahons pronounce it the same. I know all Cooks don't pronounce it the same when you see my spelling. But anyway, what do you got here? 2A's up?
2A, I started 7-1. You finished 6-2 after the first round.
All right, give us our relevant Western North Carolina matchups.
I think we'll start off with the 1 seed East Rutherford Cavaliers playing West Lincoln.
West Lincoln, I feel, is the best team out of that CVAC, and they're the only team left from that CVAC.
Yeah, the other 3.
I heard West Lincoln had a big dog arm this year, so that means that he's probably not available for this game. East Rutherford's probably without Malachi Dato unless they saved him. I'm still going East Rutherford.
I'm going number 1 seed. Moving down as a pitch almost hits us. 4 seed Burns hosting Pine Lake Prep. Go Dogs.
Burns, yeah. I mean, Burns is strong. They have a lot of their guys back from the run they've been making the last 2 years. I think they won regionals last year, lost in states.
What do we lack squaring up with you?
Oh, I don't know. We'll find out. I was going to say,
just let me know.
Yeah. We should be all right. We'll say transactions on the air. I appreciate you. Yep. I'll holler at you. All right.
Going down to the bottom left, we got a big mountain on mountain. RS Central Hilltoppers travel to Lincoln Charter.
I mean, love Coach Fowler. Yelton's probably not pitching in that game. Lincoln Charter started off really strong this year. I'm going to go Lincoln Charter.
Oh, Then that means I'm going with the Hilltoppers. We'll be different on that one.
Interesting. All right.
Then final one is Madison taking on Randleman. I'm going with the Tigers.
I'm going with Randleman as well. They're a very strong team. Love Madison, but they always get that high seed because of that split conference.
Which that'll change next year.
Yep. Say Branson Fox leading off here. Branson left field. Takes the ball up and in here. So 2-0 count to start. Say Branson shares the field with his brother Shooter, freshman, who's the catcher this evening. Line drive down that left field line. That could be extra base hits. Fox around first. He's going to keep going. Throw comes in from the shortstop, and he slides in ahead of the tag. So nice work, Branson Fox, with a leadoff double for your Cougars. That's going to bring Lane Chandler to the plate. Lane, the shortstop this evening. See if Branson Fox is okay here. He went hard into that bag. He's holding his left arm. Coach Reagan and the umpire is out to take a look. Say with Chandler coming up here, do you bunt this early in the game, or do you just see if the bats wake up early? So Fox is going to be all right. He's going to stay in there. So we saw Chandler pitch last Friday in that championship game versus Drone. He got hit a little bit. He was low eights. He's got good stuff. Shortstop this evening. Oh, and that's going to hit him. So first and second here in the second inning. It's going to bring Liam McMahon. Could see a bunt here. 7, 8, 9 up now. Long look down at third base coach from McMahon. What you looking for?
Keeping track of these daggum box score on here. Okay, that's all right. No errors yet.
So you holding now.
I do the job of 3 people.
From the stretch. Swing, fly ball left field. That's going to send Stevenson back. He catches it.
Oh! Goes back to tag, but then falls down right at second base. So won't be able to get over to third or even an attempt there.
So that would have been tough either way, just coming from left field. But
well, you see,
Branson having all sorts of issues out there after that hard slide in the second. Hopefully
well, he wasn't tagging to start, so he goes back to the base real quickly when he's like, oh, I have to tag. And then he gets caught up on his own shoestrings.
With 1 out, we're going to have Shooter Fox square, bunt, and go foul.
How we doing on condition? Yeah, excellent condition. Appreciate you guys tuning in, all 28 of you concurrently. Let's get that number up. Share the link with your friends, family, everyone. And we appreciate everyone over at Bubba's. You'll be seeing there's a bunt.
Fox gets that bunt down. That might be a base hit here for the young man, and it is. So Fox moves Fox. That's going to be a bunt single for the young man, the freshman catcher. So bases loaded.
They
for
got
the
corner bugs for y'all over at Bubba's and the
Cooper's Trading.
That's Cooper's. I don't know why I was thinking there was another
I have
word.
to get up to Cooper's. I was looking at that stock. They got up there, guns, ammo, bow and arrow is big up there. So any y'all into the archery, deer hunting.
I saw a lot of posts on Instagram located at Cooper's. Didn't pull up the. I don't think Cooper's has an Instagram page.
I didn't see it. They had a Facebook page.
But a lot of people post from there, and there was a lot of posts saying, checking out some bow and arrows and different brands, and I know it's mentioned on the read. So appreciate them coming together and getting us some cash. To
that ball's going to get away from the catcher, Robinson. And Branson Fox comes in to score the first run of this game. So wild pitch opens the scoring here in the second round of the playoffs. Malachi Huskins with a 1-2 count now. Everybody moved up on that one. Good take there by Huskins. Huskins, a junior, left-handed swinger. I think we might have a pinch runner out there at second base for Fox. I can't tell. So you're going to have to pay better attention to that next time. So pop fly in the left field, Bermuda Triangle. It's going to fall. Here comes Chandler. He'll score that second run of the game, and that's going to be technically an RBI single for Malachi Huskins. So first and second now. Say, I don't know if that's Fox out there at second, but again, he had to hold up to see if that ball was going to get caught. Back to the top of the lineup here, Caden Carroll. He walked his first at bat. So 2-0 here in the second inning for the Cougars.
3 hits.
Gave a bunt hit to Fox. Had the bloop hit by Huskins. And he had the leadoff double by Branson Fox. So it's pop fly back behind us here. I was going to say Holden's not pitching a bad game here. See, the only real hard hit ball as far as hits was the leadoff hit by Fox. He had a bunt and a bloop. Hits him. So Carroll going to head down to the first base for a second time today. A walk and a hit by pitch. And we got bases loaded again here for the Cougars. Good chance to strike. That's that crooked number we talked about trying to put up in the first couple innings. So Braden Deaton going to be the one to take a chance here to break it open. Well, it's a good time to tell you again, we did our final Poppy's handcrafted popcorn player of the week for last week. We chose JT Cook from Watauga. An excellent week in the Northwestern Conference tournament. Again, there's a few conferences that still hold a conference tournament, and Watauga's been hot. And they took out Alexander Central and number 1 South Caldwell on their way to a championship. And a lot of that was on the shoulders of JT. He was 5 for 9. He had 2 dingers, 7 ribs, 3 walks, 3 runs scored. And both those home runs came at key moments in that semifinal and finals game to push the Pioneers ahead. JT, plenty good to play in college, but I think he may be going to be just a student at NC State. So, again, congratulations to JT. And if there's any colleges out there with engineering or JUCO with pre-engineering, you should probably hit up JT Cook and see if you can talk him into playing a few more years because he's pretty good. Here's a bunt by Deaton, safety squeeze. That's going to score 1. Deaton's out at first, so nice work on the safety squeeze RBI. So second and third now for Kason Jones, 3 runs in. On a safety squeeze, suicide squeeze play like that, do you give him a sack bunt in the box score, or is it just an out and an RBI? I'm going to have to go back and look that up. That's a Google question. Kason Jones here. Holden going from the windup. Swing and a drive. That ball is absolutely walloped over the scoreboard, into the road, back onto the highway, and probably all the way back down to Burnsville. What a big, big swing. Kason Jones driving that train. 3-run ding-dong opens it way up here. So Caden Carroll and Huskins in. And I'm sure Hunter's going to be writing down the notes for that one to look for in the highlights later. So the Cougars bat around here with Levi McCurry coming to the plate, the 9th batter of this inning. And that's what we were saying with Kason Jones, big-time football stud, but I think his ceiling might be up there for baseball. I mean, he absolutely tattooed that ball. I think everybody in the county knew that.
Mm-hmm.
Send a search party out to try to find that baseball. we await here McCurry, his AB. Say 2 outs here. Are they struggling with the amount of runs? It's 6 runs. That's what I got.
That's what I have.
See another little delay here. See what this one's all about. I mean, everything seems in line in my box score, so I'm not really sure exactly what the holdup would be. Good time to check out whether a suicide squeeze counts as a sack bunt in the scorebook. That's good. Does a suicide squeeze, let's see, I'm trying to ask Google,
Well, you do that, I'm going to throw up the power rankings.
count as a sack bunt in the box score?
Final power rankings for us this year.
That ain't the final. We're doing
It's
it
not the
through
final.
playoffs.
We're
No,
going through playoffs.
We're going to try to do it through
excuse
playoffs
me, it's
here.
not the final. The most recent power rankings got a
It
1
does
seed.
count. It does count as sack bunt, so that is no AB for Deaton. It goes in as a sack RBI.
Well, you got East Rutherford, TC, Tuscola, RS.
So there's going to be some changes.
Still a lot,
Asheville with that
AC.
first round loss,
They'll
you'll probably see Tuscola bump up. Again, there's some schools right on the outside like Mountain Heritage, Swain, Hayesville. So if they go deeper in that 1A playoff, they could climb.
Those 8, 9, and 10 spots are up for grabs.
I was going to say a lot of our guys were knocked out. West Henderson could jump back on this week. They probably will, even if they don't win tonight, just for getting into that second round. Line drive, foul. So I shouldn't say full-on line drive. Looked like it jammed him a little bit. Didn't get the good part of the barrel. Now in the foothills, again, it's like Watauga could keep climbing, Cherryville, Burnsville, a lot of these.
4v6 tonight, North Iredale, North Lincoln.
Yep, and there's some right outside on the edge, too, that could creep back in depending on how the playoffs go. So we'll keep it up. And, part of Ion Outdoors sponsoring the power rankings this year as we pop fly left side. It's going to get out. Part of Ion Outdoors sponsoring us this year for these power rankings. We're going to send out a mountain and a foothill team of the year certificate to those head coaches, whoever finishes up number 1. So the season we're in today, it'd be Drew Reynolds of East Rutherford and Coach Parham of South Caldwell, but we still got playoffs. So playoffs.
We talking playoffs?
Talking about playoffs. So 2-2 count here. Holden delivers. Swing and a miss. Gets him on the curveball. That is strike number 3, and that is 3 outs. I know it's a long inning, but get on off that field there, Maroon Devils, because you still got a ball game.
Well, a big 6 spot for the Cougars to start.
Say that's the crooked number we talked about. Now, if Caden Carroll can just stay in the zone, breathe, locate his fastball, he's going to have a chance to make this potentially a 5-inning game for his Cougars if they can keep swinging that bat. But, man, how about that swing by Kason Jones? If we were still doing a player of the game bat, I think he'd be up for it right now with that swing.
Up in it. But, yeah, let's go ahead and throw up these 3A brackets. A little updated. Tuscola already advanced last night, beating Stuart Kramer. Was that 9-1
and 4 complete innings.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll go ahead and start on the left-hand side. West Henderson in the home game against Lake Norman Charter. That's 24 versus 25.
I'm going Lake Norman Charter. They played in a really tough conference. They had some good games against some good losses, you should say, against some really good teams. West Henderson's still a little banged up. They lost Brady Duvall for the year. I think they have a shot. They're at home, and it can be a rowdy crowd there at West Henderson, but I'm still going to go Lake Norman Charter.
I'm going to go with my high school assistant coach and state champion, Jackie Corn. I think he's got what it takes. I'd like to see them pull off the win, and they'll be on the road to the next round. East Lincoln traveling to number 4 seed Rockingham County.
I'm going East Lincoln. I think Coach Mateel has
East
those
Lincoln
guys
too.
believing in themselves. They're fresh off a dramatic walk-off win to North Henderson in round 1.
Battle of the Norths, Iredale and Lincoln. I'm going to go Iredale. I'm going to go the lower seed, getting upset, even though they tied for the conference championship, and
Yep.
I don't know how they determined who won it.
RPI.
But RPI, I guess.
And that's the point I'm going to make is I think North Lincoln played the tougher schedule. I think they're a little bit more battle-hardened. I want to go with Charlie Goss's North Lincoln Knights, right?
Yeah, they're the Knights. Going on the right-hand side, Crest over Oak Grove for me.
I'm thinking, I love Coach McFarland and that young Crest team. They're a good group of humans, but I think Oak Grove is pretty well seasoned as well. I'm going to go with the upset and go Oak Grove.
St. Stephen's traveling to North Davidson. I'm going to go with North Davidson. They've had a big history of being in the playoffs.
Same.
And then finally, West Rowan traveling to AC Reynolds. I'm going to go with the Falcons in that one.
I, too, believe it'll be West Rowan, although I hope it is AC. I would love to see a Tuscola Reynolds third-round matchup. Swinging a drive right back up the middle. Hard single for Will Holden to lead off the second inning. Landon Cochran to the plate.
Well, while we're at it, let's just go ahead and pick the final two 4A games. We'll show you the 4A bracket right here.
Say 4A dominated by more of the eastern side of the state. We don't have a lot of 4A mountain teams.
You got South Caldwell and Watauga in a rematch.
I'm going Watauga. I think they're hot. I think they're playing with meaning, led by a small group of seniors, but there's a lot of talent in that Pioneer lineup.
I'm going to go with the home team, South Caldwell, and Coach Parham. I think his experience will lead them deep in a run. And then finally, TC Robertson hosting Charlotte Catholic.
I think Charlotte Catholic's a little PO'd. They had to drive all the way up here and not play a game last night, so they got a chip on their shoulders. And with a couple more days of rest, everyone's got their top pitchers back. So I know Charlotte Catholic's got some dogs. They came up here and beat TC earlier this year. I think they can do it again.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going with Charlotte Catholic as well. They proved they can beat them once. See if they can go beat them twice. Well, that's all.
That game is Saturday, so that's the only game scheduled for Saturday right now. Swing, pop fly, off to the right side, foul.
Well, that's all for this. The mountain teams. You've got 17 total games featuring mountain teams in the second round. I'm up 28-8 on you, 24-12. And we've got
feels like March Madness brackets.
5 different games where we've got different picks.
Ooh, and excuse me, swing here. Picked up by Deaton, tossed over to McCurry. So, yeah, that was a funny little swing there from Cochran. It was about 4 inches outside. It almost looked like when he checked the swing, he put the bunt out. So it's going to be 4-3 on the put out. That sends Holden up to second, so about as good as a sack bunt. John Stevenson up playing left field this evening. So Carroll wheeling and dealing now. If he can just keep filling up, goes the curveball outside. So Holden on second, had the leadoff knock up the middle. 81 on the radar gun there. Say Carroll, usually a low eights guy. He's got the potential to throw harder in college. 2-0 delivery. There it is. Oh, nope. Thought he had it right there. It was a good spot.
Thought he did too.
Gonna guess low. So 3-0 here. Say up 6-0. Go ahead and give him your best fastball. Say older facilities here, older school. Got a hitting barn down the right field line here for Swain. Aluminum fences all the way around. That's ball 4. So first and second. It's 325 down both lines, 330 to the right center field and left center field gap, 360 straight away. Haven't had a look at the football field yet. We'll probably go drive up there real quick before we leave tonight. Carroll delivers. Foul tip in and out of Fox's glove. Man, what a swing by Cason Jones there. It was a good angle to watch it, too. It's a pretty area up here. Say Hayesville on Tuesday and Bryson City today. Really enjoying our small mountain cities. There's a strike on the outside corner. Say Carroll's got the 8-hitter here, James Loftus. 9-hitter, Forrest Schuler on deck. Say go ahead and just fill that zone up, challenge these guys with 1 out. Oof, goes for the heavy heat, misses bad. See, this is one of those things, talked to Coach Reagan before the game. I think sometimes in small school ball, when you have overpowering stuff like Carroll does to some of these smaller 1A hitters, you don't always have to strike everybody out. You know, it's okay to let them hit it, especially right now, first and second, put that ball in play, get a double play ball. Goes to the curveball, misses. Runner goes, throw down by Fox, and he's going to get him out by – whoa! So the umpire looked at it for a minute. They're saying that he slid under the tag. I'm going to be honest. I think he was out by a mile. We're going to watch the replay here and see exactly what we missed. Because, again, he may have gotten under, but I thought he tagged him way up on the chest before he got close to the bag.
Ooh, yeah. Might have not had that glove close to the ground.
So a little bit of a gift, but for you kids watching at home, meet them to the bag and then push out to the body. You know what I'm saying? Like bring that tag right down to the bag where they're going to get to and then push out to the body. A lot of times when you just immediately reach down to tag them, you're going to hit them up higher on the body and give the illusion that they get in before the tag. Like shotgun going off, that ball hits off the backstop. And again, if I'm pitching coach right now, I'd probably walk out there and tell my pitcher a joke and just tell him, hey, you know, not everybody can handle a 6-0 lead. You know, get them, get them thinking a little bit, chuckling, and realize how easy this game can be if you just breathe and put it right in that mitt. Misses high here, 2-0. So Hunter, after further review of the replay, has decided that if this were New York and we had the MLB replay series or replay option, that the runner at third, Holden, would have been indeed called out. So we're going to have to start our umpire review cards, umpire scorecards here through Baseball University. But at the same time, folks, please, please, please love on your umpires. Like, you know, they make a bad call, whatever.
That ain't even
the boo birds.
That ain't even a bad call though, because
I mean it's a bad call, but it's not the worst call in the world. But just don't scare the umpires away because there's only so many left. There's strike 3. That ends the inning. Hunter, what did Loftus do before him?
Strikeout.
So 2 strikeouts in a row?
2 strikeouts.
That's what I thought. Okay, so a ground out, 2 strikeouts, sandwiched between a hit and a walk, no runs in. Score is still 6-0 heading into the top of the third. Is going to be, where are we in the lineup? Because we batted around last time. So we are at Branson Fox, Lane Chandler, and Liam McMahon in the third.
Well, I want to thank Bubba's Good Eats for being one of our playoff sponsors. Appreciate all you guys over at Bubba's watching us, watching your Mount Heritage Cougars take on the Swain County Maroon Devils. Minnie and Shane Miller are new owners of Bubba's Good Eats, located at 394 East Main Street in Burnsville. Their business phone is 828-678-3388. Their cell phone is 828-284-3534. And they're open Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. and on Saturdays, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. You can follow them on Facebook at Bubba's Good Eats NC. And they have online ordering at bubbasgoodeats.quickmenu. That's KWICK menu.com. They do dine-in, takeout, and ordering online. And call them if you need anything catered.
Well, here's a few reviews just looking at their website. The Bubba's Barbecue Bacon Cheeseburger with the sweet potato fries is my favorite. Next one. We love the beef brisket, pulled pork, sweet potatoes, and vegetable medley so much that we went back 2 days later. This is one of our favorite places to eat when we visit Burnsville. We dined here with a party of 12 adults this week. Our server was exceptional. The food was delicious. The highlights were the beef brisket, pulled pork, vegetable medley, and peach cobbler. This is a perfectly laid back place to enjoy delicious food without feeling rushed. Great spot for barbecue in the heart of Burnsville. Very nice place with friendly staff. So again, how can you not want to get down to Bubba's? I'm looking at their menu right now. I'm starving right now. I don't think they ever ended up opening the concession stand here. Ugh. Wish I had some Bubba's right now. What's that one that got the big egg on the burger? That's probably the one I'd be going for. So Branson Fox was the catalyst of the second inning rally. He led off with a double, came around to score the first of 6 runs, highlighted by the Kason Jones tater tot that scored 3 runs. Hit that one all the way back to Yancey County. Fox fouls off the 2-2 pitch. So Holden back out there for another inning. I've actually been impressed with the young pitcher. You know, he ran into a little bad luck in that second inning early with the bunt hit, the bloop. Can't really deny the 3-run bomb there. I mean, that was definitely just a good swing by Jones. But this young sophomore here, Holden, he's been mid-sevens on the bump. These are these, you know, if we can get these mountain kids their heads right, you know, if they love baseball and they can get into the small school route, there's definitely places for these good athletes, and they are good athletes. It's just the problem that you run into playing in a small conference. For example, like when Mountain Heritage has to load the bus up and go to Rosman and beat them, 37-1. You know, sometimes you just see a big drop in talent. There's a swing by Fox, deep to left. It's going to hit the fence on 2 bounces, and that is the second double for Branson Fox, 2 for 2. And that is the nice part of not having the Camwood bats for the playoffs, is I don't have to worry about picking a player of the game. Because right now, Mountain Heritage has got several contributors. And I'm a fan of the team win, right? You know, I like doing some individual recognition, but it'd be nice if we just do the winner of the Camwood bats player of the game. Each game is just the team.
They win the game, they win the round.
So Chandler up, was hit by a pitch in that second inning, came around to score. Fox out there at second, taking his lead. Oh, and they almost hit Chandler again, second time they come at him, but to be honest, it looks like a spinner, so I don't think it's anything intentional. How we doing there on the cameras? Everything still okay?
Everything looking good. Camera 4's got latency issues, but expected being so far away. But sometimes we can snag a replay angle.
Nice read by Fox. He was off on the pitch. Whether it was a dirt ball or not, he was taking third, so that's a stolen base. Read that very well. So Holden back to the windup. So they don't have to go right at Chandler here. They got the base open, but again, down 6-0. We're already in that territory for Swain where you don't want to dig too deep a hole. So Kason Jones, again, the big swing in this game. 3-run homer to put these Heritage Cougars up 6-0. Top third now. Chandler 2-1 count. Hits him again. 0 for 0 with 2 HBPs. First and third situation. Again, I don't think it was intentional. Looked like a spinner. Some 4A games are underway. South Iredell, who we're big fans of Coach Little. We were down there for their game versus Bandy's this year. They'll be in our coverage territory next year with the realignment. They're at number 10. Or no, where's South Iredell today? At Grimsley?
At Grimsley,
At
number
Grimsley.
4.
West Forsyth is at Reagan. Hugh at Marvin Ridge. Well, double steal works. So delayed steal scores Fox from third base, Chandler at second. So testing these young catchers early. So with nobody out here, 7-0. And ideally, this if things could, in a perfect world, this is again what me and Coach Reagan were talking about before the game. In a perfect world, you put up a couple crooked numbers, and Chandler's efficient, and you keep them under 70 pitches, and there's rain in the forecast Monday and Tuesday. Mountain Heritage might be completely fresh by the time they play another game and have all their pitchers available. Now, if you're Swain, you're young. You have to breathe here and start playing it an out at a time. You gain the experience because my guess is Swain will be here again next year. And if they can escape giving up just the one here, which I don't know, looks like that ball's going to fall. So, yep, base hit by McMahon. Chandler's going to come all the way around to score on the RBI single by Liam McMahon. So 8-0 here, which is a bummer because as we were speaking, I was saying they're going to have to hold it and try to put up a crooked number of their own. But this is starting to get out of hand a little bit here for Swain. We'll see if Coach McCracken and staff wants to make a pitching change. And not a lot of seniors on this Swain Maroon Devil team. I'm counting 1, 2 total. And only one in the lineup there. It's Lewis at second base. Rowan Ellis, the other senior, not in the starting lineup today. So it's a good news for Swain. Again, young team. They're going to be coming up together, getting their hacks. It's kind of where Heritage was a couple years ago. So it's going to be Shooter Fox due up at the plate here. McMahon on first base. 8-0. I think it's a 7 o'clock start tonight for South Caldwell and Watauga. Again, that's at South Caldwell. And then your other two that'll be starting here shortly are Myers Park and Mooresville, and Providence and Weddington. And again, tomorrow, Charlotte Catholic comes back up again to TC Roberson. In the 3A, West Rowan and AC Reynolds are underway. I think the rest of our games are all 7 o'clock starts. In the 2A West, North Surrey and North Stanley underway. Everyone else at a 7 o'clock start. And back here in the 1A, besides this matchup, you got Hayesville underway. That's a day game for them, right? Hayesville would probably start around 5 o'clock is my guess, 4:35. So they've been underway. So if anybody in the chat's got a Hayesville score, let us know. Polk underway. Polk's at Christ the King. Again, I have no idea if they have lights. So if anyone's got a Polk County score, let us know. And then everybody else starting at 7 o'clock as well. As far as the private schools, ACA still live. Did you see ACA won their opening round match? So they have a game tomorrow. They're playing Grace Christian, who I believe they were 10-run ruled by earlier in the year. And then Gaston Christian is playing Greensboro Day School tomorrow at 1 o'clock. So 1 o'clock starts for ACA Grace Christian and Gaston Christian Greensboro Day. Christ School was your lone 4A up here in the mountains for the private school. They were knocked out in the first round by Raven Gap. For the rest of the 4A, they picked back up tomorrow as well. Actually, I lied. They played a couple today and a couple tomorrow. Metrolina Christian beats Raven Gap 1-0. Oof, what a game that must have been. Covenant Day currently playing against NRCA. Who's that?
North Raleigh Christian Academy.
Okay. And then Charlotte Christian's got Carmel Christian tomorrow at 7. And then Wesleyan Christian plays Charlotte Latin tomorrow at 7. So some solid private school matchups. For a lot of our Western North Carolina viewers aren't familiar with the private school section. I wish they would be. I wish they'd play each other more. For any college coaches tuning in, they'll tell you a lot of times they prefer to recruit a private school kid just because they know that they're more academically ready. So, well, the change has been made here for Swain. It looks like it's number 4, Jones Robinson in. And you only see it usually in the small schools, but a catcher coming out to pitch. You know, sometimes your best athletes got to play multiple positions. So Robinson in the pitch. He's out from behind the plate, and Forrest Schuler moves in from left field to take over the catching. And that probably tells me that Holden might be our new left fielder. So actually looking around here, it's Lewis that shifts over to first base, and it's Holden that goes to second. Okay, so Schuler, the first baseman, comes in to catch. Lewis moves from second to first. Ooh, he might get him. He is out at first base. They picked him off. Say they got him leaning there. It was close, but McMahon is picked off first base. So Shooter Fox now hitting with nobody on. So again, Schuler moves from first to home plate. The catcher Robinson goes from catcher to pitcher. The pitcher Holden moves to second. Lewis shifts over from second to first. Outfield remains the same. Little looper to the shortstop. Golly. So these umpires got to be a little more sure on their calls today, because that was a little line drive softly hit. I thought he trapped it, but they're going to say he caught it in the air. So line out shortstop. Good job, Shooter Fox, running out the whole time, because I'm with you, buddy. I thought they trapped that ball. Late call by the catcher, or the umpire there, the home plate umpire. So that's going to bring up number 9 here to Malachi Huskins. Again, he's DHing today for the right fielder, Carter Burnett. Burnett pitched the round 1 game versus Leadership Academy. Hard line drive to right field here. It's going to stay up and find the glove of Loftus. So hit it hard, Huskins, but that is a line drive out. So end of the top of the third. In the bottom half, it'll be top of the lineup for the Maroon Devils, Stillwell, Robinson, and Smiley.
Well, again, want to support Baseball University of the Blue Ridge? Visit our Patreon at www.patreon.com/bbuniversitywNC. The more financial support Baseball University of the Blue Ridge can earn, the more coverage of Western North Carolina baseball we can bring you, including the College Tour Series, the High School Scout and Streaming Series, American Legion Post 70 content, weekly media coverage, and more, highlight films, as well as playoff projections and playoff brackets. Choose which tier is right for you at www.patreon.com/bbuniversitywNC.
Well, the newest addition to the Patreon, and you always got to love this because it causes some controversy, but we did it last year too before we had a Patreon, but I like to put out mock Region 8 state games list. Say everybody better find that rhythm. But anyway, we just put up mock state game Region 8 rosters on our Patreon. And so look, here's the deal. I had somebody post on it today on Facebook. It was like, why a subscription? It's like, well, we're trying to do content. We're trying to find a different model where for the recruiting side of things, if you know what we do prospect filmings, college recruiting advising. I'm a scout. So, I mean, this is just one of those things where I don't want to be in that same group of national organizations that are charging $3 to $10 grand for these services. We're trying to find a different route to raise revenue. Part of it's crowdfunding, and we enjoy trying to make good content. And a lot of the high school coaches will tell you that I get to see all the players while they don't. So they want my opinion, not because they think I'm right, but it's just another pair of eyes. So I made 2 lists for the Region 8 state games. The first one is an uncommitted list because there's 2 schools of picking teams for this particular tournament. The first school it's a college recruiting event. Let's focus on 26 and 27 commits only and guys that are uncommitted. So I have an uncommitted list of the best uncommitted 26 and 27s in my eyes. And then we have a all-stars list, which is considering Amos and Gunnar Alm and some of these committed players, and also some freshmen, because I don't put freshmen on the uncommitted list, but if there's a freshman who's good enough for the all-stars, we'll put them on there. So 2 different lists, a lot of different names on both lists. Was looking at over 60 players from 28 different high schools. It was really hard. There's kids who are literally the last name I took off the list, so it was not fun to do in that regard. Try to be as unbiased as possible. Ground ball, third baseman. Mac Mahan throws a cross route number 1.
Great stretch there.
Yep, but good content. And, for our Patreon members who are joining the Patreon to support us and help us find that extra revenue stream, we want to reward them with early content. Now, if you don't care and you don't want to join, fine. But it'll be released, I think Monday. I'll put them out on Instagram, Twitter, etc. for everyone to see. But, whether it's our podcast that we're starting, these mock rosters, highlight films, we're going to be putting them out early through the Patreon to reward those members. So please join the Patreon. So 5-3 to start the bottom half of the third inning here. Jones Robinson was a strikeout victim his first time up. Carroll got 3 Ks here through 2 1/3. Overthrowing a little bit here. So again, this is where you want to keep your pitch count down. You're up. Was it 6-0? 8-0?
8-0.
Scoreboard says 0-0.
Says it's the first inning too. Let's see, nothing coming in on the Mountain teams quite yet.
I'll say if you're watching from another game or got some updates on some of the other scores out there, throw them in the chat.
Looks like AC and West Rowan are starting a little bit earlier than expected, probably a 6:30 start. So
say East and West Rowan battled hard all season in that conference. East Rowan was your 3A champion last year. Strike on the corner gets Robinson looking. 2 Ks on the day for the young catcher, now pitcher, Robinson. Aiden Smiley up now, popped out to second base his first time up. Aiden, a big, strong kid, wears number 20. So 82 on the fastball there from Carroll. He's been 81, 82 today consistently.
I like how he's throwing with his whole body right here. He's not just arm side. He's pulling it down like he's got something to prove.
He's a flexible kid, too, if you look at how he finishes. It's just he's still green. He's still got to be taught. But I'll be honest, if he sticks with it in college, he might throw 90 one day because he's elastic. It's range of motion. The other thing I'm doing with Caden the first time if I'm Coach McMillan up there is making him soft or long toss a changeup. He needs to learn that third pitch. I know he's been flashing it. I think he just threw one there, actually. That last pitch, not that one, that was 80, but the one before that was 74. But you can get through a 1A. You can be on a good 1A conference winning team and not have to throw anything but a fastball changeup the whole year. Like Charlie Collins was here at Swain back in 22. I believe they made it all the way to the finals. We're going to look that up right now. But Charlie was already throwing mid-8s, and that's all he had to do is just get up there and rock that fastball. When he came to Christ School, his training regiment changed dramatically, got up to 90. He's at Western now in the high 8s sitting. Good competitor. Is that ball 4, right?
Yeah, two out walk won't hurt Caden here. As long as he can find a third quickly.
Yeah,
interesting.
Swain made a run in the playoffs that one year. Beat Hiawassee Dam, beat South Stanley, then lost to Union Academy 10-9 in the third round.
Well, interesting tidbit here. The Cougars and the Maroon Devils haven't played in the Max Preps era. You'd think in the playoffs they'd meet, in the second, third round like this. Kind of like in this type of scenario, they have not. Not since 2008. Anything before that, I can't confirm because they don't have history of it. But it seemed like both coaches said, yeah, we haven't seen them as long as I can remember. So first matchup between these two high schools. Big strike through for Caden.
That is 5 Ks through 3 innings for Carroll. Again, the Southwest Virginia commit. Good two-way athlete. Heading into the top of the 4th is going to be the top of the lineup, Carroll, Deaton, and Jones.
Well, I want to thank our broadcast sponsor today, Cougars Trade Incorporated. Appreciate them for fronting up a good bit of the revenue that we needed to come out here and broadcast tonight's 1A West second round action. Cougars Trading is a retail firearms, archery, and fishing shop located in Burnsville, North Carolina. We're a Glock stocking dealer as well as a blue label dealer. We carry Matthews, PSE, Elite, and Bow Tech, as well as Bear and Hoyt bows and accessories. They're located at 1995 West US Highway 19E in Burnsville. Their phone number is 828-678-9929. Appreciate Cooper's Trading for being our playoff sponsor.
So that's a good sponsor for this area. Western North Carolina loves its hunting, its fishing.
And loving every day.
It's outdoors. Outdoors is in the blood out here. Everybody loves the outdoor sports, self-sufficiency. And Cooper's Trading, they got a good following online too. It looks like 1.4, so 1,400 plus following them. Wish I could tell you a little bit more about all these brands and labels, but I've been out of the hunting game and fishing game for a while. It's called having kids.
Well, let me see it, and I can tell you if what's relevant, what's not. But I assume they got all the high-end names. I just read some of those bow names. And
Matthews, PSE, Elite, Bowtech, Bear, and Hoyt. Those are the ones they're bragging
sounds good.
on.
I haven't shot a bow in probably about 5 years.
I mean, I loved it when I was a kid. My dad's still an avid hunter. We used to shoot targets in the backyard all the time.
I like my 30-30 a little bit better than I like my bow.
Fair enough. Here's Caden Carroll. Caden has been walked and hit by a pitch today, so no official at-bats yet. Ground ball, backhanded, up, hits the glove of Stillwell out there, in and out. But with it being a backhand, we're going to give Carroll the single on that. So 1 for 1, been on base all 3 times. So Deaton up. Deaton had the suicide squeeze RBI and is lined out hard to right field. So 2 very different ABs, but productive nonetheless. Again, with a lefty in that box, I can make it tough on that catcher. So we'll see if Carroll's got the green light here. Swinging a drive by Deaton. That's going to turn around Cunningham, and it's over his head. Carroll's going to motor towards third. Deaton's probably got the hold up there at second. So it's going to be a double and a second and third situation now for the Cougars. So got that 9th and 10th run out there with nobody better at the plate. You want this young man up there right now, and that is Kason Jones.
How far do you think he's going to send this one?
Watch him bunt. So
Would not be shocked here. Third baseman playing a little bit back of the bag.
Say first base open.
Yeah,
so
I'd lay one down here.
They don't have to pitch to him. 8-0 here. He's probably swinging. Ball inside.
Not if you don't get hit in the leg first.
I was going to say this: if you're the Mountain Heritage Cougars right now, you want to score these 2 runs, get up 10, save your arms, get home early, breathe, get some practices in too, because you're probably going to be practicing Saturday, Monday, Tuesday. I bet you rained out, so you got 3 practices, 5 or 4 whole days of rest. All your arms will be ready. Bennett will be back. Carroll will be clean by then.
Well, the third round, they'll be on the road, whether it's South Stanley, the 2-seed, or Eastern Randolph, the 15 seed. So expect them to.
They'll be the highest seed left, so no more home games. That ball gets away. Carroll's going to motor in on the wild pitch. Carroll scores the 2nd run of the game. Deaton moves up as well.
That takes away an RBI chance for Jones there.
I don't think Coach Reagan's going to complain. They want to get those runs in, take control. So again, it's a young Maroon Devils squad. They'll be in it for years. We saw how many seniors Hayesville is graduating, so that conference going to be up for grabs next year. Hayesville still got Jackson Sellers coming back. He's probably the conference MVP if they select one, would be my guess. Sellers just dominant on the mound.
Swain's made a few runs the last couple of years. I could see them making a deep one next year.
Yep. Again, I think the furthest they've gone recently was that third round push a couple of years ago.
Well, they're moving up to 2A. The Cougars actually moving up to 3A.
So the conference itself changes just a little bit next year. Rosman joins and everybody else stays. So the conference will be 9 teams next year, or 8?
I think 8 baseball and secondary sports, but with how the Smoky Mountain 1A does their things, you've got Nantahala School and a couple other teams that are still classified in that conference. Yeah, Mountain Heritage and Piedmont Community, who Swain beat in the first round, both moving up to 3A, the lower end of the 3A spectrum, which is actually what the 2A looks at this year. Going to be, along with North Wilkes, Mount Airy, to name a few, Madison will be moving up with Heritage into the 3A section. I'd assume Owen is somewhere in there.
So out here, the baseball, it struggles a little bit. So Coach Sellers was telling us how next year they're proposing their JV teams go 7th, 8th, 9th grade in order to boost the numbers, because a lot of these teams out here do not field a JV team.
Teams like Swain, Avery, South Stanley, the 2 seed, are staying in 2A. Cherryville's in 2A. Piedmont Classical, Langtree Charter, to name a few, in the high end of the 2A spectrum. Murphy staying 2A.
Jones takes off. So we got a pop fly on the right side here. He's going to have to retreat, but it is foul.
That angers you as a coach, right?
Yeah, let him take it. Well, unless there was 2 strikes. But we had the Smoky Mountain Conference. You know, you have Murphy, Swain, Hayesville that typically can compete. Robbinsville will put a few players out. And then after that, it drops off a little bit. Andrews has struggled. Cherokee has struggled. Hiawassee Dam has struggled. That is a balk. So Jones off early. Robinson turned to pick, but you can't stop your motion. So it's going to be a balk. Scores Deaton. 10-0. And that's that 10 runs that Heritage was hoping that they could get in this game. Again, Heritage much better than that 26, 20, what is it, 25 or 26? They're 26 seed. 26 much better than that 26 seed.
That's just based on the RPI. It's literally just based on who you play and who they play.
Well, the big issue with Heritage is they've had the talent, but have they had the discipline? You know, that was the big difference between them and Drone this year. It's just a little bit more discipline. Talent's about the same.
We were mentioning earlier about the teams in the Smoky Mountain 1A. 13 in total when it comes to all their sports.
But how many are relevant for baseball?
Relevant for baseball, you got Andrews, Hiawassee, Robbinsville, Rosman, Cherokee, Hazel, Murphy, and Swain. So a full 8. Nice even 8.
That's good for Rosman, too. They were getting pounded in that Western Highlands. They're the low dog there. So Branson Fox, 2 for 2 with 2 doubles. Had 2 stolen bases as well, 2 runs.
Ooh, interesting out of the 2A, 3A when the Western Highlands with Polk moving, them in Hendersonville moving, and Drone moving out. Avery and Mitchell are the only 2A schools in that new split conference.
2A, 3A?
It's a 2A, 3A split.
That ball's going to scoot away from the catcher. Both runners are going to move up. We'll put that down as a pass ball.
Yeah, you got Hendersonville, Madison, Mountain Heritage, Owen, and Polk all making up the 5 3A schools in that 7-team conference. Kind of like it is this year, adding a couple, losing a couple.
So a long look here from Robinson to his catcher. Here's the pitch. Curve on the inside corner. Strike 2. 1-2. Now this is where I want to see the maturity of Burnsville, the maturity of Mountain Heritage here. It's like you're 10-0. That strike zone's probably going to open up a little bit. So don't get sassy. Don't mouth your umpire. Just get your hacks. Get out there. Put 3 outs up. Try to keep that 10-run lead. Another hit by pitch. So getting a little ugly here in Bryson City.
Looking at the conferences, look at this 3-level split: 2A, 3A, 4A. How's that going to work?
Oh, wow. So Lincoln Charter, Lake Norman Charter join with Pine Lake, Langtree, and Caravian.
You know what's crazy? Every one of those teams made the playoffs.
So Pine Lake Prep's the only 3A. So how's that do them in the playoffs? Are they always an automatic bid?
Well, so they don't. So the new playoff rules are that it's just the top 48 of the RPI in each classification, except for 4A, which will be the top 32. Or no, top 24. I think 4A has 24 now.
We might end up covering Lake Norman Charter next year too, if that's the case, because we're going to be covering all the Iredell counties,
Well, every team.
Iredell schools next year.
Fly
There's
ball
a
to
swing.
center.
Can of corn for Cunningham. Runner's tag. At least
Runner
Jones
tag.
Yeah, say Jones going to score on a sac fly RBI. Good insurance run there to get over that 10 mark. So sac fly RBI for Chandler. Fox at first, McCurry at second. 1 out now.
Well, every team in that conference made the playoffs, including 0-15 Bradford Prep.
Where are they out of? Say Bradford Prep. They've only 0 for 10 to make any of the playoff brackets. Inside out, fists one to right field. It's going to go base to base here, so single. Everybody moves up 1. Nobody scores on that one.
Bradford Prep is located in Charlotte in Met County. So they'll be traveling a little bit to face the likes of Pine Lake Prep, Lincoln Charter, Lake Norman's outside. Let's see where Bradford Prep resides geographically.
Shooter Fox up, lined out to the shortstop, and had a bunt single in the second.
Oh, Bradford Prep's way up there at the 485-85 interchange in the northwest side or northeast side of Charlotte. So they'll be traveling far.
Foul ball here from Shooter Fox.
Yeah, we thought we had everything solved when it came to these conferences, and then they realigned again. And they're actually tabling the discussion to propose realigning every 2 years now. Georgia does.
Fox shoots one in center field. See if that stays up for Cunningham. It does. That'll be the second out. Nobody tags and advances. So I bring Malachi Huskins up, and he is the 9th batter of this inning. So second time that the Cougars have batted around in 4 innings. So it's a good athletic team. If they can play smart baseball, efficient baseball, control their emotions, this Cougar team can go past that 3rd round, which, again, last year is the furthest that they've ever gone in the playoffs, which surprised the heck out of me. You'd think that Burnsville's got some good athletes come out of there. So hopefully their little leagues and middle schools can keep producing good athletes and send this Cougars team back to the playoffs year after year in that Western Highlands Conference. If there's any score updates, drop them in the chat. Again, all the 4A games underway. I think everybody's underway now. It's 7:15. So we're an hour and 15 minutes into this game. A couple scores for you here. And again, we don't know how accurate they are because, anybody can put in an update on Max Prep. But right now, the big shocker is West Henderson falling behind 3-0 to Lake Norman Charter.
Hayesville, 3rd round bound, defeating Mount Island Charter 8-4.
Attaboy. Way to go, Coach Sellers. Way to go, Michael Mauney, Shaheen, all you seniors. Ground ball here, the second baseman, picked up by Holden, throws to first, and that is the third out of the inning. So they bat around, plate 3 more. The score is 11-0. Cougars as we head into the bottom of the 4th. And if Caden Carroll and the Cougars can hold it here, this might end up being a 5-inning game. It's going to be Grady Lewis, Will Holden, and Landon Cochran to lead it off for the Maroon Devils. So checking out a couple more of these scores for you here. Let's hop into the 2A, see if there's any updates. All games underway, but no scores posted for 2A. Again, out of the 1A, Hunter just said it. Congrats to Hayesville. So Hayesville ending Mountain Island, the oxymoron charter, 8-4. Wishing Coach Alm and the Polk County Wolverines luck as they're on the road at Christ the King. Highland Tech drone. Someone's got to be listening from that game. Come on now, give us a score. And then Cherryville, the number 1 seed in the 1A. They earned it. Check on Twitter. Sometimes you get the updates on the Twitter feed. Nope, not seeing any other updates. So we'll give them to you as we get them, folks. But playoff baseball, we'll see how many of our Western North Carolina teams move on tonight. A couple minutes ago, Western Carolina playing this evening against the Citadel. Looks like East Lincoln commit Trey Spays with another home run. He's having a heck of a freshman season for the Catamounts. All right. Well, say Coach Reagan, say this is how we wrote it up. Say couldn't ask for a better start to the game. A few crooked numbers. You know, it was a scoreless first inning, so I thought we were going to have a bit of a pitcher's duel, but it's been the second, third, and fourth innings saw 6, 2, and 3 runs plated, respectively. So now we're at 11-0 here. There's a drive to right center field by Holden, but it's Carter Bennett out there. Settles under it.
Not what the Cougars did last year, though. Last year, starting off 7-0, 6-2 in the playoffs. This year, starting off 9-2 and now 11-0. A lot of runs scored this year compared to last, which shows on their experience being in here year after year.
Well, new pitcher here. Should have said something there, but it's Lane Chandler taking over Caden Carroll. It's a smart move by Coach Reagan. You're up 11-0. Might as well save your arm. He stays under 75 pitches, so he's available for next week. Lane Chandler hasn't pitched this week. He pitched in that Friday game versus Drone. My guess is he can probably make it through this game under 30 pitches if he's efficient. So everybody in that Cougar rotation should be available. Cason Jones out there in center field settles under that one. So 2 fly ball outs here. 1 to right, 1 to center, and Landon Cochran up. Landon the DH for the center fielder Gavin Cunningham this evening. He's grounded out to second in his lone at bat. Let's get a fly ball to left field here and give everybody a shot in that Cougar outfield. Why not?
Oh, F9, F8, F7 going right to left.
So you got some Swain faithful up there in the left field hill watching the game. That looks like a fun place to watch. And just pull the car right up and get a good view. So they have this little press box thing down here on the left side, right off the foul line from third base, where they said the press normally watches the game. It's an interesting spot. Ground ball, first base side, past McCurry, but fortunately foul.
Yeah. It's Linley. It's LYNLE. And then I think it's like .J.
Say the Maroon Devils, they have a pretty good sports network up here, that Maroon Machine group. I think they're part of the NFHS group. Again, for anybody who wants to have us out the playoffs for round 3, again, our only caveats are, 1, we got to pay NCHSAA a fee, $75. Which, remember, I got to do that before we leave here. And
a good time to mention that we are on the 1 minute delay.
Yeah, we are on a slight delay to be in compliance. NCHSAA,
yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
And let's see, and if NFHS network is streaming a game, then we cannot stream. So those are the 3 little caveats. So eventually, I think when we get to those regional finals, that's probably where NFHS network probably starts showing up more. So my guess is
schools do it.
Yep, I'll say my guess is we probably make it through 4 rounds. There's strike 3. So Chandler gets Cochran watching. So 3 up, 3 down as we head into the top of the 5th. It's going to be top of the lineup again for your Cougars and Carroll, Deaton, and Jones. So final line for Caden Carroll. He works 3 innings, 0 runs. Gives up the 1 hit, I believe. Yes, just the 1 hit. Walks 1, 2, 3. And strikes out 1. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see here. Well, I got to make sure. What was the number of that last batter, you know?
Here, I'll tell you.
So I think I may have. See, I may have been 1 batter behind there. What was that, 14?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I was 1 batter behind. Let me go back there. All right, now we're right. So there we are again. 3 walks.
Sounds like a gunshot.
Right. So it was Holden that flew out to right, Cochran that flew out to center, and Stevenson that goes down watching in that last inning. Carroll's final numbers: 3 innings pitched, 0 runs, 1 hit, 3 walks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Ks. He's in line for the win in this shortened game. Carroll comes on, faces 3 batters, 3 outs. And now we're at the top again here for the Cougars in the 5th. So new pitcher on here to work for your Swain Maroon Devils. It is Grady Lewis, one of only 2 seniors on Swain County. So 3rd pitcher of the evening. I was impressed with their starter, Holden. I think that there's some potential in the young man. Then their catcher came out the throwing in, and I think he's back behind the plate now. So it's a little mixed up here on our depth chart. So Schuler, who's at first base there, number 11. So that's Schuler who heads back to first. Holden's still out there at second. So Lewis moves from first to pitching. Schuler Robinson goes from pitching back to catching, and Schuler goes from catching back to first base. Well, 11-0 here, top 5. Say your Heritage Cougars are going to have to get 3 outs here in the bottom half, and that will be your ball game. We'll see if they add any insurance runs on here in the fifth.
Well, private school action. Metrolina defeating Raven Gap 1-0.
Yep, saw that.
That's a tight one for
That is a good
Metrolina.
baseball game. Metrolina is going to be one of the favorites there to win that private school state championship.
I'd see them. Who'd they lose to? They lost to Charlotte Christian 4-3 in 8 innings this year. Their only L.
Yep. That's the kind of team they got. So depending on how that bracket's set up, they might face Charlotte Christian in those finals.
No updates. No one updating the max preps.
Anybody in the comments?
Anyone in the chat dropping? No one in the chat dropping any scores. Getting ants all over the iPad.
Normally we go to movies there or at Carolina, and and I like the stores that are there.
All right, what do we got here? Ready to start the inning? So we've had a few little delays here and there this game.
Yeah, this has been a very quick game, but feels like it's normal pace with that first inning delay in both the top and the bottom, and then a couple innings later there was a slight about 5-minute delay, and now we've probably had about a 5-minute in between the top of the fifth and bottom of the fourth.
Maybe it's scorecard stuff. I feel like for the most part I've tracked most of these accurately. I don't see any issues necessarily.
Well, it's a lot of getting guys some experience here in the playoffs, getting some ABs, keeping everyone fresh and warm.
So scorecard issues potentially. Who knows? Hope we don't have any technicalities that make an issue here.
Well, you got to be careful with that because sometimes when you bat out of order, that's an out.
Yep. Put 9 in the wrong spot. Is that what I just heard? So there is no number 9 in their lineup. There is no number 9 in Cougars lineup. Unless they had a it may have just been a defensive replacement they're trying to get right there. I'm not sure. But either way, first pitch of the fifth inning is about to take place. Pinch hitter here. Looks like Caden Carroll's out, and this is
We got a
E. Tyner in. So pinch hitter.
We got a Christ the King Polk score. Christ the King got 5 on the Wolverines, 5-0. Tough for Coach Alm. What inning is that? If we can get an inning update, that'd be great.
Say, Lewis got a little bit of funk to him. I like the delivery here, especially if he can fill it up. So he's a senior. It's a ground ball to shortstop, picked up by Stillwell, but dropped. Tries to throw across anyway. It's going to be an E6. So B. Tyner reaches in his pinch hit appearance. And that's going to bring number 8, Terry Biddix, to the plate. So another pinch hitter here. Coach Reagan giving some of his subs an opportunity to swing the bat here.
I don't know if we'll hit our record tonight.
Well, it looks like the
6
Mountain
minutes.
Heritage Cougars are going to match their school best third-round appearance. They can hold on and get 3 more outs in the bottom half. Swing and a miss. So again, Terry Biddix, pinch hitter here for Braden Deaton. Deaton had a good game. He was 1 for 2, had that suicide squeeze RBI, hit a double in the 4th inning, scored a run, had an RBI in the game. Good game for Carroll, too, who's pinch hit for Tyner. Carroll is 1 for 1 with 2 runs. It was also walked and hit by a pitch, stole a base. So 2-1 count here to Biddix. Oh, miss high there. Say Braden Corn with another home run tonight for Western Carolina, measured at 436 feet. Big fan of North Henderson grad Braden Corn, now a Western Catamount. That's ball 4. So an error and a walk. It's going to send Cason Jones up again. We saw what Cason did his last AB when he had 2 runners on. Watauga out to a 1-0 lead against South Caldwell. Trying to pull the upset. Still a lot of ball game left in that one.
That's the hottest team in the mountain baseball right now.
Swing and a miss at the curveball there.
I think they've won 8, 9 in a row, something like that.
They've been hot. They've been making a late run. It's a young team. First-year coach, Coach Burrows. That's behind Jones. That's going to come to the backstop. Both runners going to move up on the wild pitch.
Yeah, it's safe to say we are not meeting our record this year.
What's that? For shortest game?
Yeah.
Hour and 36 minutes. Was that
Yep.
South Iredell game?
I think that was South Iredell, Bandy's. Before that, we had an hour 37 and hour 38 was the East Lincoln Hickory game. I don't remember what the 37 was.
Ground ball, foul. So 1-2 count here to Jones. Two more runners out there on the pond for him.
Get through this without changing the mics, hopefully.
Ball low. Jones also a very skilled football player. I know that's his first love. Mountain Heritage had a great run. As foul tip. So they're gonna say strike 3, drop third strike, but I swear he foul tipped that. Went in and out of the mitt. So I don't know. I would have done the AB over again, but it's gonna be a K. Reaching on at first base. Tyner's going to score from third. Biddix moves up to third. But yeah, I thought that was foul tip. I thought I heard it.
It sounded like it, that's for sure, from our angle.
Foul tip in and out of the glove. Came to the backstop. He just went ahead and ran. Ground ball right out in front of the plate. It's a swing and bunt. Lewis tries to throw home to no avail. That's going to go over the catcher's head. So that's going to be a swinging single for McCurry. Give him the RBI on that one as Biddix scores on the swing and bunt. So there was no way they were going to get him at first. Jones moves up to second. Not your most conventional RBI single, but it is one for McCurry. That's going to bring so we got another pinch hitter here. This is Parker Burleson hitting for Branson Fox. So all the Cougars getting a look here in a 13-0 game. Say Burleson's actually younger brother of a graduated hitter from last year, CJ Burleson. I believe that's younger brother. Say Heritage only lost the 2 seniors this year. It was Burleson and Marcus Wyatt from last year. So they returned a lot of contributors. Again, Swain, 2 years in a row, maybe more, making the playoffs. They were a second-round exit last year to Hayesville. So 3-1 count, first and second. Strike at the top of the zone, 3-2 count. So the umpire's going to have to open it up a little bit here to get this game moving along.
Swain was a second-round exit to Drone last year.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Burleson goes down. So 1 out. Bring number 3, Lane Chandler, up. Lane is 0 for 0 with 2 hit by pitches and a sac fly RBI. So that's an interesting box score for the man. Swing and a miss. Say funky delivery from Lewis. I kind of like it. He's a senior. Say it's been a long couple months here. There's a single up the middle from Chandler, and everyone's going to go base to base. So runners probably could have scored there, but going base to base in a 13-0 game here. We visit a lot of cool small towns, a couple bigger areas, going down to Gastonia, Charlotte, Watauga, and just about everywhere, man.
Polk down 7-0 in the top of the 6th. Hate to see that from local Wolverines.
Say Wolverines got a young team coming back next year. It'll be Gunnar Alm's senior year. Say Noah Harden, Alex Perry. There's some good juniors coming back. Polk going to join the Western Highlands next year as well.
Playing Heritage and teams of Madison and the like.
So 8 teams in that conference?
18. No?
Yeah, because you lose Drone,
teams.
you add Hendersonville and Polk.
Which...
Oh, wait, and you lose Rosman. That's right. So it might be 7.
It is 7.
Yeah, because Rosman's going to the Smoky Mountain Conference.
Smoky Mountain's getting to 8 from 7. Yeah, had some tech issues early on, but now that sun's behind the tree line, nice and cool up here in Swain County.
What's interesting here? So Carter Bennett is batting in Liam McMahon's spot, although he's already being DH'd for in right field. So the way I look at it, he would only be able to be entered into this game in the 9 spot, like dropping your DH. So this may be.
Is there a double switch involved in that that's possible?
I don't know. I think they might be hitting out of order here technically. Foul ball. So 3-2 count. I'm going to do it again.
Well, if you drop the DH.
Because again, DH is hitting for the right fielder, right? You drop the DH, he comes in to hit for himself in the 9 spot. He's batting in the 7 spot here.
That's a weird.
I don't know. I think
it's a weird conundrum there.
So that one got away from ball 4. So I guess technically an RBI.
RBI walk.
Jones comes in from 3rd. Everybody else moves up 1. That's going to bring Shooter Fox up. Fox had the bunt single in the 2nd inning, lined out and flew out, working on a 1-for-3 evening. 1 out here in the top of the 5th. So no lights on here at Swain, but they have them.
Trying to save some money here.
Don't
turn the light bill on.
I think they were hoping to save a little Duke Energy on this bill on this one, but say if the Maroon Devils can't get out of this one. So it's going to be 1 to 4 to 3 technically on that one as it deflects off the pitcher. He is going to get an RBI, credited with an RBI on that as Shooter Fox as McCurry comes in to score. Chandler over to third, Bennett up to second. 2 outs here. And for the second inning in a row and the third of 5, the Cougars have batted around. Malachi Huskins up. Malachi 1 for 3 had an RBI and a run scored in the second inning. Lined out hard in the third to the right fielder. And he's going to ground out to the first baseman here to end this one. 15-0 heading into the bottom of the 5th. This will most likely be our last inning. Again, thank you so much to our sponsors tonight, Bubba's Good Eats and Cooper's Trading Post. Really appreciate those hometown Burnsville businesses stepping up and funding us this evening. Lane Chandler going to come out and work his second and probably final inning here for the Cougars. Again, Caden Carroll will be your winning pitcher if all holds here. Only 1 hit in the game for these Maroon Devils. It was Will Holden with a hard single at the middle to lead off the second. Besides that, a couple walks and a lot of off-the-barrel contact and 6 Ks through 4 innings as well. Well, for the most part, made it through. Limited tech issues.
Yeah, early on, pretty good start after a crazy first inning there, which, you know, it's one of the toughest things that we've been having to deal with is how early to set up versus deal with the elements.
It's nice with playoff baseball not having a JV game going on beforehand, though.
If those phones were up 2 hours for a game, 3 hours for a game, they'd be toast. So trying to figure out how to combat that.
Ice packs.
Ice packs, yes. Let's see.
So this is good for the Burnsville community. That senior class has had a great year with the football run and now a third-round baseball appearance. And Mountain Heritage is going to be set to face the winner of – I'll have to go back and check the brackets real quick.
South Stanley and Eastern Randolph, I think.
Okay.
2 and 15.
The 2 and the 15 seeds?
2 and the 15. Yeah, because Mount Heritage, as the 26 defeated the 7-seeded Piedmont Community Charter, while Swain defeated the 7-seed Piedmont Community Charter. No, Swain beat the 10-seed Piedmont Community Charter, and Mount Heritage defeated the 7-seed Leadership Academy. That's right. Because Leadership Academy, Bethany Community, and I think it's Cornerstone Charter all finished tied.
Looks like number 1 Inca softball walked it off tonight against South Rowan in the 9th inning. That was an update from Evan Garricky, who's out here tonight covering the game for the Asheville Citizen Times. Ran into him before the game started. Looks like the Catamounts are winning pretty big this evening as well, but it's college baseball and things can change real quick in college ball.
I think we'll have to tune into News 13 tonight at 11 and see if you'd hear us on these highlights.
Yeah, right.
Next to us, we had WLS crew out here filming some spots, but they missed most of the scoring.
There's strike 3 to Loftus.
They missed a 6-run second.
So it's a second K from Chandler. 5 were collected by Carroll through 3 innings. So 7 Ks through 5 innings for the Maroon Devils. Let's bring number 9 hitter Forrest Schuler up. He was a strikeout victim in the second.
West Henderson gets one back in the second, down 3-1 still.
It's still early there.
Watauga's 1-0 in the second over South Caldwell. Burns is up on Pine Lake Prep 3-0 in the third. Scores of interest. East Wilkes is up on back-to-back state champs Uwharrie Charter 1-0 in the third.
82 miles per hour on the fastball there from Chandler.
12 over a 5.
Still hoping Chandler considers playing some junior college baseball. He's got good talent. Just got to give himself a few more years to play. 81 on that, 81, 82.
Getting a message on the Facebook. Drone and Highland Tech are tied at 1. No inning update there. I'd assume that's pretty early on.
See Chandler stepping off here, calling his catcher out real quick. Hopefully he's okay. Not sure what sort of message he was trying to translate. Say Shooter Fox got a smile on his face as he scampers back behind the plate, so I think everybody's all right. Goes to the curveball. 67 misses inside. 3-1 count. Back to the heat, 81. So good velo from both Carroll and Chandler tonight. About 81, 82 each. It's going back to the windup now. Goes to the heat, and it's right there. Strike 3, gets him looking. So 2 Ks here, 3 total in 2 innings. That's 8 through 5. So Cougars really pounding the zone this evening. Not a lot to hit, just the 1 hit. 3 walks on the evening. There's that curveball again. So down to their final out here is the Maroon Devils. So a good season, 2nd place finish in the Smoky Mountain 1A conference. Another curveball, 71 on that one, probably more of a slider. So 0-2 count here. One more strike, 1 more out. Goes the high heat, 83 on the gun. So nice job by Chandler. Finished this one off. He's 81 to 83 on the evening. He faces 6 batters and strikes out 4. Gets all 6. So nice performance. Strikes out the side, no hits, no runs, 2 innings pitched, no walks. And that's your ball game here. Mountain Heritage Cougars defeat the Swain Maroon Devils 15-0 in the 2nd round of the North Carolina 1A state playoffs.
Yeah, the Cougars improved to 11-11 on the year. Swain falls to 12-9, a good finish for them. You mentioned just now, 2nd in the Smoky Mountain 1A. And Mountain Heritage moves on to face the winner of the 2-seeded South Stanley, I don't know what their mascot is, and versus the 15-seeded Eastern Randolph Wildcats, I believe. So they'll be on the road no matter what in the 3rd round. But a big congratulations to Swain on a great year. Just ran to a buzzsaw here with the good pitching staff that the Cougars have, and it's how 1A baseball can be sometimes. You can see 15-0, and these 2 teams could play tomorrow, and it'd be 7-6.
Yep,
So
I've seen that plenty of times.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
Yes, Ryan here tallies up the box score. Let's see if we can read off some last-second scores from around the state in this early slate, getting into an hour into the 7 o'clock one. Again, Metroline defeats Raven Gap 1-0. Hayesville moving on to the 3rd round with an 8-4 win over Mountain Island Charter. J.H. Rose up on Hunt 1-0. Polk County gets 10-run ruled by Christ the King, 10-0. Good finish for Polk County in the 2nd round. Ran into a buzzsaw with the number 3 seed. Marvin Ridge is up on Huff, 7-2 in the 3rd. Again, Lake Norman Charter 3-1 over West Henderson in the 2nd. Watauga still up 1-0 on South Caldwell in the 2nd. Burns 3-0 on Piling Prep in the 3rd. East Wilkes 1-0 over UR Charter 1-0 in the third. And that's all for the Mountain teams.
All right, almost done here on my box scores. And all right, so Caden Carroll, 1 for 1 with 2 runs, 2 hit by pitches. Scores, and then a walk, a hit by pitch. Sorry, walk, a hit by pitch. 1 for 1. Scored the 2 runs. Deaton 1 for 2 with the double, the ribby, and the run. Kason Jones 1 for 3 with that big 3-run homer. He also scored 3 runs total. Levi McCurry was 1 for 3 with an RBI and a hit by pitch. Branson Fox 2 for 2 with 2 doubles, 2 runs, 2 stolen bases. Lane Chandler 1 for 1 with a sac fly RBI, 2 runs and a stolen base. Liam McMahon 2 for 3 with 2 ribs and a walk. Shooter Fox 1 for 4 with a ribby and a run. Malachi Huskins 1 for 4 with a ribby. And again, Caden Carroll, your winning pitcher, 3 innings, 1 hit, 5 Ks, 3 walks, no runs. And Lane Chandler with 2 innings of relief, 0 hits, 0 walks, 0 runs, 4 Ks. For Swain, really the only mention is it's going to be Will Holden, 1 for 2 with a single. And I thought he pitched pretty well, mid-7s. They just got to him there in that second inning. But, congrats to Swain on a good season. Congrats to Mountain Heritage for moving on. If we had to pick a player of the game, I don't know. I guess go with Kason, just hitting that big old dinger.
Team win right there.
We ain't got no Camwood bats no more. So, again, we appreciate their help this year. But when it came to the playoffs, that's everybody's deal is up to the end of the playoffs. So thank you to our sponsors tonight. Again, that's it for this evening's rendition of the playoffs for the Western North Carolina Scout and Stream Series. Thanks again to Bubba's Good Eats and Cougars Trade Incorporated. Thank you again for tuning in. Catch our next broadcast maybe next week. It looks like rain Monday, Tuesday. We'll see if we can pick up a third-round game. Maybe it'll be Mountain Heritage again. And as always, for any of these college coaches that are tuning in, feel free to hit me up. I know it's Friday. I know a lot of y'all might still be playing. But, some are out of the playoffs. Might have been able to tune in today. Again, think about joining our Patreon. BB University, WNC is the username on all of that. Patreon, again, it's crowdfunding. We got those mock state games rosters up there. Again, follow us on social media. If you followed us on YouTube today, make sure you subscribe. Follow us on X, Instagram, Facebook, all BB University WNC. We're trying to put up good stuff there all the time. And signing off, we thank you for tuning in to the Scout and Streaming Series, again, presented by Bubba's Good Eats and Cougars Trade Incorporated from Bryson City, North Carolina, on the campus of Swain County High School. This has been the second round of the NCHSAA 1A West playoffs, where the 26th-seeded Mountain Heritage Cougars are your winners, 15-0 over the 23rd-seeded Swain County Maroon Devils. For Hunter Street, I'm Ryan Cook. We'll see you next time.